this is the life, hey, Fraser.
Mark, this has been a superb holiday. I just wish we didn't have to get on that plane tonight.
Oh, I know.
Oi, guys.
Oh, gosh, sorry. Please don't show Heather this. Okay, Fraser, you ready?
Yeah, let's get after
it. 3, 2, 1. This is the GTN Show from Lanzarote.
Yeah, now we have been busy all week meeting loads of pros, getting lots of cool content, and especially a pretty cool challenge that Mark and I did against us versus the pros.
Yep, some of the best pros in the world. And I'm losing air from my inflatable, so thanks for that. But today we are going to be discussing some of the best training camp locations out there with some really good input from the pros themselves.
Yeah, and we also are going to discuss a little bit of a headache that the IT office are experiencing at the moment because of the addition of 2 words to their 2019 rulebook.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. And we've also got the announcement of some of the best pros lining up for Ironman 70.3 Dubai and some new pro signings. Well, as much as I would love to have stayed in that swimming pool back there, I am afraid we have to move on for the rest of the show. So, we found the sunbeds.
Tell you what, this presenting is a hard life, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is, Fraser. Well, anyway, today we are going to be talking about training camp locations. Now, perhaps you're living currently in a location that's got poor weather, and a training camp would be a perfect opportunity to go away, get some good quality training in uninterrupted with some nice weather to do it in.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's something that we used to do all the time, wasn't it? And there's certainly some places that we would call our favourite go-to locations. Now, that being said, perhaps you need some motivation to go on your next trip away, or you need inspiration to go and do your very first training camp.
Yeah, well, we've been really fortunate here in Lanzarote because we have been surrounded by pros all week. So we've actually got some input from them and that inspiration for your training camp.
So talking about training locations, Tim, you've trained all over the world. What would be, if you could give us a couple favourite training locations?
I think 2 of the favourite training locations are Stellenbosch in the Western Cape in South Africa and Boulder, Colorado for the European summer. This year I'm living in Europe and with a family I can't justify going to South Africa and leaving them there. So I am in Club de Santa in Lanzarote. The riding is phenomenal. Got a couple of 50-metre pools. Apartments are pretty good as well. I've also trained in some of the other Canary Islands, but definitely for me it's Boulder and Stellenbosch are definitely key places. But while in Europe, Club de Santa.
So one of my favorite places is definitely Club de Santa and Lanzarote because it's so easy, it's so convenient. We have 3 Olympic pools, we have the track, we have the gym, we have the food. They even go and make our beds, you know. So in that way, it's so easy to be an athlete here and just to relax and calm down and just focus on what you have to do, your training. So in that way, this is definitely one of my favorite places to go. We have a direct flight from Denmark to here, so it also makes my life so much easier, where I'm allowed to bring all the kilos that I like. My second favorite training location must be Boulder, Colorado. I love training in Boulder because it's not this complex. It's like a whole city that's involved in triathlon and in training, and the whole atmosphere brings a lot of joy into the training and also into the after training part. So there's so many good people there. There's always, again, someone to train with at here at Club de Santa.
Well, Lanzarote. That was hardly surprising considering they are all in Lanzarote at the moment. But in fairness, it is a very good location, right?
Yeah, I mean, we used to come here a lot as well, didn't we? And for people in Northern Europe, especially us in the UK, dropping down to the Canary Isles makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's just a quick flight and yeah, pretty predictable weather. It's very good, it's mild, it's good climbs, good roads. It's just easy,
yeah, it's dependable. You know what you're going to get for the most part, although we did get a little bit of rain again this trip. But yeah, it's definitely somewhere that loads of Europeans come to.
Yeah, and great facilities around here, good resorts to do that training from. But also Stellenbosch.
Both been there, haven't we?
We have. Absolutely love it. I'd almost say it's a home away from home for me.
Yeah, I mean, again, similar vein, because for European athletes dropping down to the south of Africa, down there near Cape Town, it's relatively easy for a faraway place, isn't it?
Same time zone, almost, more or
yeah.
less. So yeah, very good, and the training is incredible there. Great climate, great food, great roads, great scenery.
Take me back.
Yeah, it's good. Anyway, next one, Boulder.
Yeah, no, I have trained there quite a lot, and a little bit of a different angle to Boulder because it's at altitude. It's at 1,500 meters, so that's something you have to be able to get used to when you go there. But again, just a fantastic little town nestled in the bottom of the Rockies. Loads of amazing places to stay and eat, and let's not forget the actual reason to be there. The training is superb.
Yeah, well, I have always wanted to go there. Unfortunately, I've missed out on it, but maybe I'll plan a trip with GTN in the near future. But anyway, now for some other pros.
I was in St. Moritz for the first time this summer, and I really liked it. I really like the hills and the mountains, and why I've never been to Switzerland before, because I like hills. But yeah, there's so many different places, but all the new places is always nice, I think.
And do you always pick somewhere because of weather, or is it maybe because of a training location, or does that matter?
It doesn't matter. I like kind of all kinds of weather. Like also like being home training, even though it's cold and snowing, and so it's also with the company you're around or the people you're surrounded by.
So another location that we heard about there was St. Moritz in Switzerland, and that's really a fantastic place, again, because of the altitude. You're up there at 1,800 meters. It's nestled in a valley with a flat valley floor, so you can get the benefits of riding and running flat, which is usually really hard when you're at altitude because that usually means mountains. Or because you're up there, you can get into the mountains too.
Yeah, again, it's another place that I always wanted to go to. Unfortunately, missed out on with the British Triathlon camps. They pretty much started just after I left British Triathlon team. But yeah, they always look like they had an amazing time. Actually, other national camps go out there because it is just such a good location. I mean, that's enough to be said for the place. Just make sure you got a bit of money to go there. It's
a little bit expensive.
It is a little bit expensive, yeah. Well, finally, some more pros for us.
Oh, there's so many nice locations, and it's also great to have the opportunity to train on different locations. So usually in January we are here at Club La Santa in Lanzarote for basic training. Then I like to do some specific bike workouts and also training in Gran Canaria, a beautiful island with a lot long climbs, some training in the Alps, and also, I like also to train on Mallorca because Mallorca, it is perfect for cycling. You have long flat sections, you have long steady climbs, and it's not steep at all. So you can really do which intensity you ever want. So you can go easy up the mountains and you can push hard on the mountains.
Portugal's pretty good. Been to Portugal as well, but if I can get away with it and be there, I do like the States, like America. Been there, the humidity is good for our races, particularly over the last couple of years, and then I can sneak off to Disney as well.
Anywhere in America in particular?
Just Florida. Yeah, I just love Florida, Florida Keys. I spent a lot of time there as a kid, so for me, going back there and get some training in, and done a few races there in Sarasota particularly, and yeah, I love it there, like I said, because they definitely know how to do a good pizza.
Right, Gran Canaria. Well, this is somewhere that I have been, but I wouldn't say I've got a whole lot of experience. It's just a one-off trip.
Yeah, and I've not been at all. I've heard lots about it, but I've only got experience of Fuerteventura and Lanzarote, which are definitely different types of Canary Islands. You don't have the, you don't have really, really long sustained climbs, and that's what Gran Canaria has, right?
It does, but then teamed with that, then you don't have quite so much wind because you're sheltered on parts of the island. So it's meant to be really quite an exciting place to explore. Unfortunately, I never got the opportunity to quite do that when I was there that time. But another place, Portugal.
Yep.
We both raced there, but not actually done training camps there. It's very popular for runners. It's very nice sort of rolling terrain, good dirt tracks and stuff to use. So, I mean, I've seen lots of photos from national camps of great rolling roads and tracks for them to do their tempo sessions on.
Yeah, and I think we're also talking about European-based athletes because, again, it's a pretty quick flight from anywhere in Europe. And certainly, again, lots of folk in the UK nip down to the south of Portugal for some sunshine. Let's not forget what we like to get in the winter.
Yeah, well, contrary to that then, we've got Florida. I mean, that obviously suits the US guys. People not going to be flying over to Portugal necessarily. No. But yeah, I've not done this. You have?
Yeah, you should spend quite a lot of time in Florida. Depends on the time of year. I mean, obviously, if you love your heat and humidity, then the summertime in Florida would be great. I definitely avoided it between the months of May and October, November. But through that winter month for us, Florida was just incredible. I used to love it. Although it is flat as a tack. So if you need some hills, you actually have to go find a bridge.
Yeah, well, I hope that has been some inspiration for you, maybe some motivation for your first ever triathlon training camp. They are great fun. Just don't go too mad on them.
No.
I've done that before. But yeah, we'd love to hear from you. If you've got any favourites yourself, drop them in the comments section below. Or if you've got any questions as to what you do on a first training camp, do drop them in the comments section below as well. This is obviously, we've been speaking to mostly European athletes, so we do appreciate they're maybe slightly different for American-based athletes. So yeah, again, we'd like to hear from you guys.
Or anybody in Asia as well.
Yeah. Well, now let's throw this to a poll. Well, for this poll, we've got a few options for you. Do you regularly go on a training camp?
Have you been on one once, even if it was a long time ago?
Do you incorporate a training camp within a holiday, or vice versa?
Or perhaps you've actually just never been away to train at all?
And finally, other. And if you'd like to hit other, then please let us know in the comment section below. And to enter that, just click here, just above my head. And now for last week's GTN poll, where we asked you about cross-training, whether you do it, and what you do. And the results are actually really quite interesting.
We did think that, didn't we?
Firstly, not firstly, in last place we had water sports with 8%, so that encompasses supboarding and surfing.
Just anything in the water that isn't swimming, I suppose. Hiking was next with 12%.
And then we had other with 17%, and we'll come on to some of those others later.
Nordic skiing took up just over a fifth at 21%.
Which is a very high proportion, and more than I was expecting, so that's very surprising. And then mountain biking and cyclocross, so sort of off-road cycling, came in at 39%, which doesn't surprise me massively, but I'm very impressed to see Nordic skiing up there so much. But maybe that's just, says a lot about where we live.
Yeah, and it's winter time in Europe at the moment as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. But this other was really interesting, and we had this one from John Bicycle. They said indoor rowing, Concept 2 rowing, which, that is a fantastic cross-training exercise. Danielle Banky said, come to Sweden for the Vasselpet. It's a 90k Nordic ski. That's a long way.
I think I'd have to do some practice, but it does sound amazing.
Another person for rowing, that was Andy Joel. We had Iron Will said he does Kung Fu. Now that is cross-training to the extreme. And then finally we have Matthew Johnson said he likes to play squash quite a lot over the off-season.
It's a good mix, isn't it?
That is a very good mix, and I guess working some different muscle groups and getting you mobile. So very interesting.
Now, an interesting bit of news that has, gathered a bit of momentum over the last 2 or so weeks is coming from the short course side of the sport. The ITU, International Triathlon Union, have amended their rulebook for 2019 with the addition of two very prominent words, I suppose.
Yeah, shall I read what they've actually put in now? So it says, in their 2019 policy, athletes will avoid displaying any kind of demonstration of political, religious, sexual orientation or racial propaganda. Now, it's that addition of the sexual orientation that's caused a bit of an issue, and it's really sort of, as you say, built some momentum over this past week. There's a chap from Britain called Jack Bristow that's actually starting an online petition that has received quite a lot of votes on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I suppose you could say it is a bit of a hot potato, isn't it? It's one of these issues that gathers an awful lot of feedback from across the spectrum.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually what ITU have responded with. It sounds like they're addressing basically what they've written. They said the ITU has always stood for equality, inclusion and respect, and would never knowingly take a decision that would infringe on the rights and freedoms of people to express themselves and banning the display of rainbow flags. In light of the misunderstanding, the ITU will immediately revisit the rules to ensure that individuals' rights of expression continue to be embraced. So,
I mean, it's worth noting that the ITU were really one of the forefront, should I say, of being completely inclusive for male and female across the board, equal prize purses, really doing their best to make sure that they were current, I suppose. And I guess this is just them trying to do that too, I suppose.
Absolutely. Well, moving on from that, we have a little bit of a tease ahead of the Ironman 70.3 Dubai race, because quite the pro field has been announced for it, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's early season. It's one of those first races that you can do, certainly in the Northern Hemisphere, and it has a little bit of extra prize money, which always gets the pros out of bed in the morning, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, on the men's side, we've got both Christian Blumenthal and Alistair Brownlee down on the start list.
I mean,
for
what
the
a
event.
race that could be.
Yeah, I mean, Alistair is a previous winner of that exact event. And Christian Blumenfeld, well, he's just come off setting the fastest Ironman 70.3 time in the world. So that is an incredible race. And I'm guessing, I'm not entirely sure, but this Triple Crown that we saw in previous years, that Daniela Ryf won in 2015, where it is Ironman 70.3 Dubai. You're going to have to help me out here, Fraser. I forgot.
It starts off with Dubai, then runs into the World 70.3 Championships, and it finishes off with the Bahrain 70.3 in December.
Absolutely. But then on the women's side, we've also got Anne Haug. Well, that's pretty good because she was the previous winner last year. But then we've also got Holly Lawrence as well, who just won similarly to Christian Blumenfeld. So, yeah, quite the field, and I think it's going to be an exciting race up front.
We'll be tuning into that one.
Well, next bit of news is regarding Australian triathlete Matt Hauser, who you may remember last year ending up in a horrific accident whilst he was out on a training ride. He was knocked off his bike by a vehicle and, well, that put him out of racing for the rest of the year. But he was back racing this weekend at Queensland's Sprint Series Triathlon, which he won.
Yeah, it's great to see him coming back into it at a fairly local race for him, I'm sure. But look, he was World Junior Champion in 2017. He had a fantastic race coming fourth in his home Commonwealth Games just before his accident. So he lost the whole of 2018 season because of the accident. So really pleased to see him coming back and hopefully getting close to his prime.
Yeah, absolutely. Another bit of news is regarding Quintana Roo, and they've just signed two very good athletes to their roster. We've got Joe Skipper and Angela Nath, and they are going to be riding their PR6 disc, a time trial bike.
It's a rather swanky looking bike, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And Joe's actually out in Australia right now, so he's been posting pictures of himself riding the bike, setting it all up. And Angela is in her hometown, I think, at the moment, getting it set up and dialed in. So it'll be very exciting to see how they get on with that.
So now moving on to the content and photos that you guys have sent in to us to have a look at. And first up is Gary, and he sent us his 27 Ridley Phoenix for us to look at.
Yep, he's even given us the group set, Fraser. It's Shimano 105 group set and Shimano SPT pedals. But also...
I recognise that picture.
Well, that is one of my indoor training videos, and yeah, a very nice sort of quick and easy session to... Well, not easy, it's actually really quite hard, but it's a quick session to do. So yeah, you've got it set up, very simple setup with a fan in front and a nice little stand actually for his iPad.
It looks like a bit of a camera stand bodge, maybe.
Yeah, very clever. Well, moving on, we've got this one sent in from Erin, and they are riding the Salsa Black Boro bike.
And I do actually just want to say the name of this. This is the Chili Cheeks Duathlon.
Yeah, in Denver, Colorado. But look at that, look at the fat wheels on that. Yeah, nice fat bike. But yeah, I imagine that'd be great fun doing that race, isn't it? And here's another photo of them, I'm guessing partner.
Yeah, with the pair of the bikes, brilliant.
Fantastic. Well, moving on again, we've got this one from Keston, and well, with their Specialized fleet.
I don't think there's enough Specialized in there, Keston.
Yes, we've got a tarmac on the turbo trainer, we've got a Shiv in the background there.
And he's telling us he's getting signed up for his first race, right?
Yeah, first half Ironman, yeah. And I mean, he's from Trinidad and Tobago, so I'm guessing one local to that. I'm trying to think which is...
I'm not sure, but you get some travel if he needs to leave the island.
Okay, moving on now, we've got a couple sent in on Instagram, and we have one from Swede Active here, and they are on their Watt bike, but check out that bike in the background.
That's a kind of nifty looking machine. You've got one, right?
Oh, I have, yeah. This is the P5X, not a bad bike at all. So yeah, very, very nice bike.
Now moving on to another upload here is from Gray Christopher on Instagram, and he sent a picture of him what looks like sitting on turbo in his living room, and the bike mark is...
Well, it's a giant Trinity Triathlon, which I actually used to ride myself. Very nice bike indeed. But yeah, really making the most of his living room there.
Using Zwift by the looks of it.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, as always, please do keep sending in your photos on using our uploader. They can be pain caves, they can be swim photos, they can be transition zones, whatever you like, because not everyone is stuck in the midst of winter and having to do pain caves all the time and turbo training sessions. So if you are in fact racing, then please do send them through. Really interesting to see them. Well, now moving on to the caption comp. You've got the cap, haven't you, Fraser? Oh, you said you had it.
Didn't pack it. Sorry, guys.
Typical. But anyway, this is Heather Jackson at Ironman Arizona, and she, I have no idea what she was doing actually.
We do know that she is in Ironman Arizona. It's dark, so presumably she's finished her race.
Yep. you'd hope. But anyway, Lord Birch has said, when you mic drop a bit too early. Very good.
Now, the winning caption competition, that is coming in from Wade Whitboy. Now, he has cleverly said, when energy gels only kick in after 10 p.m.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it made me laugh.
No, to be fair, it's relatable. I've definitely been there where you've probably taken on the caffeine a bit too late. And,
Exactly.
Anyway, yeah, very good. For this week's caption comp, we have Tim Dunn eating a bag of Haribo. Well, this is actually from our recent challenge we've done out in Lanzarote with all the pros. Yeah. But as you can see, the fact that he needs all those sweets, it was tough.
It was.
It was hard. So yeah, please do keep an eye out for that one because it's going to be very, very funny.
I was going to say we enjoyed it, but well, yeah, we enjoyed it.
So that's it for the GTN show this week. We hope you enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Now, here we are at the end of January almost, so perhaps you guys are starting to think about new things that you could have kit-wise, like the casual kit that Mark has on here. All the cycling stuff that you see in our videos too, you can actually get all of that in the shop by clicking on the link. So perhaps treat yourself.
Yeah, I love getting new kit. I mean, there's nothing better than popping on some new kit and getting out for that first run in it or first cycle ride in it. Yeah, really cool. Now, if you like this video today, you can hit that thumbs up button. And if you'd like to see more from GTN, you can just click on the globe and subscribe.
Yep, and if you want to see a documentary or a mini documentary that we did with Tim Dunn, Life After the Halo, you can find that here.
It is very, very interesting. And if you'd like to see our how to swim with a pool boy video and how you actually use one, then just click down here. Should we go get that pina colada?
I'm off.
Yeah, okay.